Okay. Hi, Brian. Good morning. Top of the morning to you, Bill. Right. We are live on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch today. YouTube seems to have a little bit of a lag, so I apologize, guys, if I am slow to respond to comments. I will try to keep my eyes peeled, but this is Tiny Yoga. So, I won't be answering a lot of comments for the first 30 minutes or so. Once we get started, class will start about 10:10. About 10 minutes so that everybody can wander in here. Thanks, Bill. You got a place to put your butt? That's all you need. That's all you need. Let's see. Can you see my board in the background? Oh, yeah. My eyes are not going to be able to read much today, but that's okay. We'll get through the flow, and then I'll scoot you in closer. Welcome, welcome, welcome in, everyone. We are just opening up class for Tiny Yoga. A 30-minute gentle flow for everybody and every space. Essentially, just 30 minutes of chair yoga. All you need is a place to put your butt. You don't have to have a special chair. You don't have to have a special mat. You don't have to have a special outfit. You don't even have to have a lot of space. That's how this class was born. I didn't have a lot of space. I have more space now. But it still brings a lot of benefit because I don't always wake up with a lot of space in my body. So this class is free. Again, we'll start at about 10:10, and takes about 30 minutes. You can stay for the whole thing. You can spend a few minutes just stretching with us and move on with your day if you'd like to. No commitment necessary. Nothing but shenanigans and yoga. I don't know about you guys, but I think I might want to start early because my back is not moving very well today. For those of you who are new here, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I'm an interfaith minister, a movement facilitator, and dubbed by the lovely community here on TikTok, your shenanigan shaman. And I have Ehlers-Danlos. I can't even say it right. Ehlers-Danlos. So pretty much every morning I wake up with things rearranged in places they shouldn't be, especially because I have a really wonderful dog and several cats and a son who snuggle me ferociously, which means that I end up twisted between everybody. So whether that's your situation or you have a uniquely your own situation that ends you with limited mobility in the morning, I encourage you to stay for this class. We don't do anything really intense. Today is going to be a little bit faster of a flow because I have different pieces I want to do. We base it on our mudra for the week. The mudra for the week is the Yamapasha Mudra. The Yamapasha Mudra reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things, opens the airways, boosts our immune system, strengthens the lungs, and benefits the large intestine. Yamapasha Mudra. We'll do this mudra at the end of our practice, but I'll go ahead and give it to you here. Remember, I do post a new mudra every week on Sundays-ish, usually when I get around to it. I usually always get around to it, but sometimes I've been slacking. Next year, you're going to see a ton more content posted, and we will still have some lives, but there will be a lot of stuff for you guys to download and keep for free. Oh, are you ready for class? You have an avocado? Bill, I almost wore my avocado onesie this morning. It is so cold. Like, it's really not that cold. I also have neuropathy, So I wake up with my limbs numb, which is extra cold. I almost wore my avocado onesie today to class. And then I opted out. But now I feel like I need the onesie. No, I opted out because after going through this class, by the time we're halfway through class, I'll be sweating in the onesie. Good morning, my friends. Good morning, Juliana. How are you? Thank you so much. The other day, wasn't it you who sent me a video or something of Alyssa Milano wearing her avocado onesie? I just really love the fact, I don't know, that we are allowing our inner children to hold space in our lives. Collectively, more and more, allowing those silly, fun, what have you, parts that we often hide away, that we're told are ridiculous or not appropriate or too much. So I love seeing all of you being silly, wearing onesies, dancing around, making faces, singing songs. I love it. Hey, Elle, how are you? Hello, hello. Bill, you just turned on your heater. Nice. It is 10 o'clock, so usually I wait until 10:10. But I encourage you to share the live with your friends because we might start just a little bit early because I am cold. My fingers and toes are numb, thank you, neuropathy, and my hips are way the F out of place. So, I'll wait about 5 more minutes. Share with your friends, please. Anybody you know. Thanks, friend. Hi, Leb. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, so thank you, Ash. You know, with the uncertainty of what's going on just in general with social media and companies and stuff like that, and our ability to not be censored, right? Next year, we will not be relying on lives for all of our classes. Next year, we are moving our practice classes, our practice sessions into Zoom. They will still be free, but you can find the link for that. We've already started this month. You can join us for our 30-minute sadhana sessions Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We will still probably keep doing this tiny yoga. I do it here on TikTok, on YouTube, over on Twitch. Good morning, Twitch. How are you? And there's an archive of replays over there on YouTube as well. So if TikTok goes away, if they all go away, you guys can still join me in Zoom, and I will still share the information for free. We will still hold the classes for free because knowledge is power. And I really think it's a travesty that we have been denied the simple tools to balance, align, heal, and strengthen our bodies and our energy and our minds and discover our personal power. Self-actualization is what we were intended for, and we live in a system right now that denies us that self-actualization systematically. So I will continue to be radical. I will continue to be the cheat code, and I will continue to share the information even after the social media tells me I can't. We'll do it in Zoom. We'll share the information in Discord. We'll get it out there. We'll keep doing it. Ooh, the moose. What a great thought. Starting to remember we are children of the world, not parents of the world. Right? Yes. I love that. Badass Blind Woman, good morning. Small freak out. I thought I lost my coffee. Okay, one last call to share the friends with your live. To share the live with your friends, because I'm going to go ahead and start here. I need 2 more minutes. We're going to wait till 10:05 to start class. Remember, all you need is a place to put your butt. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need any experience. You need a place to put your butt and a willingness. Curiosity and willingness. Those are the biggest, most powerful tools that you have, my friend. So like I said, I created a flow this morning that is maybe a little bit faster than our normal flows. So remember one of the most important things too, yes, your curiosity and willingness are your most powerful tools in this space, but it's imperative that we remember that we are our own gurus. Only you are in your body. If I do a pose or I do a transition or something that doesn't feel good to you, my friend, please modify. Please respect your body, respect your boundaries. This is not a space where we're going to push ourselves really hard. This is not a space where we're going to push past our boundaries and break through whatever and end up sore as heck afterwards, right? This is a space where we meet ourselves with that curiosity and willingness, where we invite more space, where we invite ourselves into the present moment so we can fully experience the depth and breadth of our inner cosmos. So, TikTok likes to take down my lives falsely. So if you guys could do me a favor and interact as much as you can with the live, I do appreciate it. If you don't want to deal with TikTok at all, you can always go over to YouTube. All right, my friends. Oh, it's 10:05. Let's go. Go ahead and put your butt wherever is stable enough for you to wiggle around for a little while. Bring your knees to shoulder width apart and scoot yourself not all the way to the edge. You don't want to be hanging off the edge, but scoot yourself to the edge-ish of your chair and bring your ankles to stack beneath your knees. So your knees will be at a 90-degree angle, shoulder width apart, feet on the ground. Let's close our eyes and we're going to take 3 deep breaths to fully arrive here for our practice. Begin by inhaling through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and into the belly. It's okay if that's kind of difficult. Exhale completely. Inhale again, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. And let it go. Inhale again, this time lifting the heart and lifting through the top of the head to elongate the spine. And exhaling, melting the shoulder blades down the back. Gently tuck the chin to bring intention to your posture and move your awareness all the way down to your toes. In fact, the very tips of your toes. In fact, the very tip of your big toes. In fact, the very tip of your left toe. All of your attention, all of your awareness on the very tip of your left toe. Is there any tension in your left toe? Give it a little wiggle and return it to the earth to rest. No tension, just intention. Hello, good morning, big toe on my left foot. Move your awareness to the big toe of your right foot. Same thing, give it a little wiggle. Feel in there for any tension. Is there any tension in my big toe? Relax and rest it back on the floor. Move your attention to all 10 toes. Wiggle those toes around. Give them your attention. Maybe even a little smile to say good morning for the happy toes. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Relax them back down to the earth. Go ahead and roll both feet slightly to the outside, putting gentle pressure on the outside of both feet. Press and release. Moving your awareness now to your heels, pushing into the earth gently with both heels and release. Turning the feet inward just a little bit, rolling them over the bridge on the inside of the foot, just gently a little bit, pressing into the earth and release. Bring your awareness to the balls of both feet. Push, push, alternating back and forth. Push into the earth, back and forth, push and release, push and release, push and release. Release them both. Press both feet into the ground and release. Move your awareness up to your ankles. Notice any tension, if there is any, and let it go. You can give them a wiggle, you can give them a roll if they need it. If they feel nice and rested, move on up to your calf. The calf muscle on both legs. How's it feeling? You can clench the muscle and release. You can move the leg around if it needs to be. We're scanning the body, moving our way all the way up to the top of the head. Here in the calves, now in the knees. Little movements, just to release any tension, any holding. Moving to the thighs. Again, clench and release the thigh muscles. Relax, relax. Give them a shake if they need it. Moving into the hips. Little tiny wiggles as you move up through the belly and the torso, the rib cage, the shoulders, the arms. Give your elbows just a little tiny flat. Make sure they're nice and relaxed. Relax into the wrists, into both hands. All 10 fingers, give them a little wiggle, and rest. Open the hands and close the hands. Open and close. Open and close. Open and rest. Good morning, body. Moving our awareness up into the neck and head. You can keep your eyes closed for as long as you'd like to. Go ahead and inhale your chin up towards the sky. And exhale back down. Up towards the sky with an inhale. And exhale back down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale to neutral. Gazing over each shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, turning to one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. And roll several times in one direction. Remember, we are not using force here. The goal is not to snap or, crackle, pop the neck. I know it'll happen anyway, but see if you can just warm up the neck. See if you can just bring your awareness to it. Switch directions without seeking that pop and crack. Once your chin reaches your chest again, inhale it back up to neutral. And exhale completely. Inhale your hands up to to touch your fingertips to your shoulders, bending at the elbows, bringing the upper arm to parallel to the ground. We're going to do a couple of rotations in the shoulders. Try to keep those elbows nice and lengthened out. We're not trying to move the elbows particularly, we want to move the shoulders. So keep those elbows pointed out to each side. Roll the shoulders up and back, isolating the shoulder joint. Nice long spine. Switch directions. Stay in the shoulders. Release the arms, let them hang by your side, shake them out. Squeeze the squeeze the shoulders up to the ears, lengthen the neck. Don't cover up your ears. We're just going to keep the neck nice and long. Squeeze the shoulders up and release them with the 2 more. Inhale, squeeze them up. Exhale, inhale, up. And interlace the fingers behind you for a little seated camel. Inhale, pull back with those hands, that interlacing fingers. Send the chest forward, lift the chin up, gaze up at the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Come back to neutral, release the arms, bring the hands to prayer at the heart. And we're going to just do 3 times open arms flow. So from the heart, send the hands up with an inhale and open wide as if you're looking at a glorious sky. Exhale, come back down. Really feel into this. Lift your chin, send your chest forward, open the heart. Again, inhale, open the arms nice and wide, big up towards the sky. Hello, sunshine. Exhale back down. Bring the hands back together at the heart. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, bring the hands back together at the heart. Inhale, open the arms out to either side, big and wide. Pull them back just a little bit. Keep the palms open. Inhale. Exhale, wrap those arms all the way around you for a nice big hug. Squeeze. Inhale, the arms back open. Exhale, hug again. Big squeeze. Inhale, arms open. Exhale, one more big hug. Hold the hug. And go ahead and release the arms. And then wheel yourself over to one side of your chair. I'm going to do a little cat-cow and then sphinx, or tiger, excuse me, not sphinx. So at the edge of your seat, if you have a little bit of room to place, you're going to need to drop that left knee in a minute. We're going to start with cat-cow first. Rest the hands on the thighs. Inhale the chest forward, chin up. Tip your tailbone as if you're going to waggle your tail. Go ahead and give it a little bit of a waggle. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, curl the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Drop the outside knee, reaching towards the ground, sending that foot back with a pointed toe. Inhale that same arm up for a little back bend. And exhale, lift that knee all the way up to the chest and give it a squeeze. Give the knee a kiss and release. Wiggle yourself to the other side of your chair. Same thing on this side. Couple of cat-cows. Inhale, lifting the chin, wagging the tail, sending the heart forward. Exhale, pushing towards the back of your seat. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Really get the whole spine into it. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Again, inhale forward. Drop the outside leg so you're reaching down with the knee towards the ground. Point the back toe. Inhale that outside, the same arm up for a little back bend. Exhale, bring the knee back up to the chest. Squeeze, kiss the knee, and release. Come back to the center of your chair, back to neutral. Bring those knees, again, shoulder width apart, stacked on top of the ankles at a 90-degree angle. Yep. Feet flat on the ground. Wipe those knees back and forth just to wiggle into the hips a little bit more. Come to neutral. Interlace your fingers here at the heart. And take your time on this one. We're going to do a couple of rounds, so you'll have a moment to get into it. You'll make figure eights with your fists. So take your time to work this out, right? We'll go one direction, lifting the fists up, down and around the other direction. See this? See if you can draw a figure eight with your fists in front of your chest, one direction. Do the best you can. This is not a space for shame, blame, guilt, or shitty self-talk. So let's be kind to ourselves while we figure out how to do funny things with our arms and shoulders and body. All right, switch direction. Nice, long spine, moving the shoulders, elbows, arms, keeping the hips neutral, legs neutral. Come back to center. Shake it out. Excuse me. Interlace your fingers underneath your right thigh. Inhale it back up towards the chest. And this time, just cross it over your left leg. Bring your hands together into prayer at your heart. Inhale them up overhead. Then turn your torso towards the right side, just as far as your torso will go. Then open the arms, the back arm landing behind you on the back of your chair or on your bed. The front arm to the outside of your knees, or to the inside, this side, to the right side of your legs. Breathe. Nice long spine. Inhale. And slowly come out on the exhale. Really try not to slingshot yourself back forward. Switch those legs. Interlace the fingers underneath the left, pulling it up to the chest. That feels so good on the hips. Cross it over the right leg. Hands together at the heart. Inhale them up towards the sky, all the way up. Twist the torso to the left. Open the arms. And gaze over the back shoulder. Here we want to release any other tension in the body, any holding in the body, without pushing too hard into this twist, allowing the breath to sink us deeper. When you give your body, your muscles time to relax, it's amazing how many layers of tension we find. So give yourself the moment to breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Uncross the legs. Shake those, windshield wiper those knees out. Give yourself any other shakes and wiggles you might need. Okay. Come back to neutral. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lifting to the top of the head, lifting the heart. Inhale, big deep breath. And exhale, slide the hands all the way down the knees. You're going to land your chest on your knees. And let your arms hang off the sides. Release the head, release the arms. We're going to rest here for just a moment. Remember, there's often layers of holding, so let that neck relax, and then relax some more, and then relax some more. Big, deep breaths, breathing into your back. Slowly roll up on your next inhale. All the way to the top. Then reach your left arm across the body to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale the right arm up. Lengthen the spine. And exhale for a side bend. Opening up the right side of the body. Gaze past your elbow. Up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Inhale back up. Exhale, release. Other side. Right hand across the body to the left thigh. Inhale that left arm up. Straight overhead. Lengthen the spine. And exhale into your side stretch. Gaze past the elbow. Inhale back up. Exhale, release. Okay, last little bit here. Heel toe, those legs open to goddess pose. Bring your elbows up to parallel to the ground, hands, palms wide open, facing forward. Goddess pose. Now we're going to twist into warrior one. So turn your left foot pretty much as far as you can, open to the left. Twist the right knee in so that your toe is on the ground. The ball of your foot and toes are on the ground. Turning all the way this way, and then reach up for warrior one. Yes, only part of your hip is on your chair, and that's okay. Hopefully you are balanced. If not, and you need to hold on, please hold on. We don't want anybody falling out of their chair. You want to dip in here, lean in here to that side of the hip. Reach back behind you, interlace the fingers. Bend down into the hip for open warrior. Inside of that front knee, go ahead and drop the back heel to stabilize yourself as you go down inside the front knee for humble warrior. Lift that fist above your head. Inhale back up. And open the arms for warrior two, turning the torso towards the front, opening that back foot so that it's facing towards the front as well. Inhale, big deep breath here. Lengthen the spine, and exhale, release the arms. Come back to goddess pose. Goddess legs, edge of your chair, realign here, and we will go for the other side. Goddess arms, cactus arms. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, turn that front foot out towards the right. Drop your left knee in so that the ball of your foot is on the ground. Push that heel back. Then reach the hands up overhead for warrior one. Sink into the outside of that hip. Inhale, exhale. Reach the hands behind you, interlacing the fingers. Pull. Opening the chest. Inhale, exhale, back down. Inside the leg, dropping that back heel for stabilization. Humble warrior. Inhale up. Exhale, open the arms. Open that left foot. Send the chest forward for warrior two. Breathe. Nice long spine. Inhale again. Release the arms. Bring the legs back together. Back into goddess pose. Excuse me. Back together. Back into goddess pose. One more fold. Inhale. Lengthen the spine nice and long. Way up overhead. Exhale. Fold down between the legs. Reach for the ground. Lengthen the spine. And fold all the way as far as you can. Wiggle down. And rest. Releasing tension as you find it. Inhale, slowly roll up. Now, heel toe, those feet back together. Bring the legs to shoulder width apart. Come back to the edge of your seat. Give yourself some last wiggles if you need them. We're going to hold our mudra for 5 minutes, and we're going to actually say a mantra. So this mudra is the Yamapasha Mudra, and is the mudra for helping us to understand the interconnectedness of all things. Again, it opens and strengthens the airways, boosts immunity, and benefits the large intestine. So it's done like so. You just use 2 index fingers, the index fingers on both hands. Bring your right hand, palm up at the heart, and the left hand, that index finger hangs off the top one. This one, I want you to be really mindful about tension that may unintentionally build in your system. So we hold this here at the heart. Please be very mindful as you hold that we hold our mudras with intention, not tension. right? If you're squeezing this together or you're pulling really hard on that upper arm or you've got your shoulder up like this, it's not going to be a pleasant experience. And you're not going to get the full benefit from the mudra, because we use mudras because they redirect the energy in the body through the energy channels. So if you're squeezing the energy channels together, you're probably not going to get quite as good of a flow. So I've got my timer here. Go ahead and center yourself. Again, last little wiggles. Grab your mudra. One more time. Both index fingers. Like so. Holding here at the heart. That means the left fist is up. Excuse me, left fist is down. Right fist is up. Holding at the heart. It already got me as soon as I started holding it. Go ahead and close your eyes, and I will start our timer. Put it somewhere where I can see. We're just going to hold this mudra for these 5 minutes, and then we will say a mantra for 3 rounds to close our practice completely. Remember that when you hold your mudra, one of the best ways to experience the benefits of the mudra is to cultivate your attention. Anytime your attention wanders off to something unrelated or even follows some related thread down some rabbit hole that takes you elsewhere, we are not giving our attention to our practice. And our attention amplifies that which we give it to, manifests that which we give it to. It's not about perfection. It's not about having a perfectly quiet mind or a perfectly still body. The world will not quiet down for us to find peace within. So here for these 5 minutes, I invite you to cultivate that centeredness in the here and now, to let go of the idea of perfection and be willing to be present with the process. Allow the breath to settle into real nice long inhales and exhales. I invite you to experiment with how long you can do an inhale and exhale, especially on this mudra. Just 5 minutes, nothing more, nothing less than the mudra and the breath. Anything else that arises does so in the background, at a distance, far away, like clouds passing in the sky, like birds chirping outside. Breathe that space. Occasionally check in with the body, with the posture. Again, releasing tension if you notice holding anywhere. And return to the slow, steady breaths. Stay with it, you're almost there. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, go ahead and release the mudra. You can release your hands down to your lap or simply lay them over your heart. As we take a moment here to just be. No more practice, no more anything. Just be with whatever sensations are in our systems. Notice the quality of the breath. Notice if there's still places of tension, still things being held in the body. Notice places where the body is softened, or the mind has softened. Notice the sensation of having more space inside of your system. If you'd like to join me for a mantra, this mantra is also associated with the interconnectedness of all things, but essentially wishing well and wellness and goodness for all living beings. So the mantra goes: Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We're going to do one nice long round. I encourage you to get as loud as you can with this mantra. Let it resonate through your entire being. See if you can vibrate this mantra through, right into your cells. Inhale, exhale, and inhale to begin. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Pause again. Notice the vibration. Notice the quality of the breath, the body, the being. And then find that little seed of gratitude in your heart. Take a moment to water it, giving thanks for the space, for the practice, for the prana, the life force energy that is always flowing through the path of least resistance to bring us to our highest good in every single moment. In gratitude for the opportunity to build trust with that flow. Offer yourself gratitude as well for taking the time for self-care today. And thank you for joining me in this CAYA space where we can learn and grow and thrive together with all these cheat codes. I love you so much. When you're ready to get out of your practice completely, come back to reality, go ahead and rub your palms together to warm them up, cup them over your eyes. flutter your eyes open underneath before coming back to the matrix. Did we go over today? No, we didn't. That was exactly a 30-minute practice, I think. Maybe 2 minutes over. Hi, dog. All right. Thank you guys all for hanging out. Hi, dog. Go lay down in your bed. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Dog needs hugs. That was a really long time we were apart while I was doing tiny yoga. A whole 30 minutes where he couldn't sit on me. Badass blind woman. I noticed I kept leaning to the left today. Does the left side rule something? So the left side of our body is our lunar side. It is the, no, son, please. It is the, the right is your upward energy, solar energy. The left is your lunar energy, or passive or downward energy, downward flow of energy. I find that if I'm doing any type of practice, yoga practice, and I start to feel out of balance like that, it really just means that, for me, it just means that my energy is more in that space. So like, for example, one of my favorite ways to look at this is to do sun salutations, because it's the same motion again and again and again. And if you do them with your eyes closed, as dangerous as that sounds, you will notice, thank you friend, you will notice that you might tend to turn slowly in one direction. And that usually means that the other side, right, has more energy or more force to it. So if I'm there doing, if I'm heavy on my solar side, I'm going to turn towards my left. If I'm heavy on my lunar side, I'm going to end up turning towards my right, because that side is pushing forward more. Mama bear, interesting, my left side has pain and injuries. My neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome also is heavier on the left, and that really does come a lot from the way that we express and experience our divine feminine and masculine. The solar and lunar is the yin and yang energies in our systems. Balance. Yeah, absolutely, friend. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being with us. Remember, doggo time is like 7 times faster, right? It was ages. Hi. For those of you who don't know, this is Ajna. He's named after the third eye because healers have this little star here on their head. Hey. So remember, everyone, replays are on YouTube. I am Move with Change on YouTube. I Move with Change on all the social media platforms, but I can tell you for certain that the only place I hang out is TikTok and Discord. And that's because on TikTok, we can I can share information and you guys can download it. We can stitch things, duet things. I can offer you, thank you, friend. I can offer you mudras and tools and mantras and asanas and herbs and nutrition tips and energy healing techniques and stuff like that, all through questions that you ask. I really love that about TikTok, is that it allows me to answer questions directly and actually make content for it. I've tried to do that on YouTube. I struggle to do it on YouTube. Maybe there's something I'm missing and somebody can educate me, but sir, can you sit down, please, for a moment? I don't need you on my lap right now. Can you hold on? Sit. Hey. Just 1 second, please. You also found yourself standing in a prairie today? That sounds lovely. Can I come join you? That sounds fantastic. All right, let's rearrange this so YouTube and Twitch aren't completely left out of class. Okay, let's see. YouTube and Twitch, let me know if the angle is weird. I can't quite see it. Meditation pillow. Did you guys see this? Did I show you guys this? It was a gift from my son. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. Oh no, what's being said? What are you guys saying? TikTok has been acting really weird lately, so I will reiterate again, please, everyone remember, one, replays are on YouTube. So if you need a class, go to YouTube, move a change, and you can have class right there. Two, regardless of what TikTok does, we will still have our CAYA, our community in Discord. So come join us in Discord. That's where you'll get all of the extras and fun things. And announcements for all the things. You can become a free member on Patreon, but honestly, and I do put some stuff up there. I try to put the big announcements up there and things like that. But Discord and TikTok gets most of it. We are starting our daily sadhana practice, our daily practice together as a community in Zoom. That happens Monday through Thursday, and then we do our tiny yoga thing here on Fridays. That'll be what the schedule looks like next year too. There will be some live sessions because I really enjoy them and I want to use them more for Q&A after the classes. But again, we just have to be mindful of the fact that I probably already got a violation on here for something. They've been tagging me for nudity and hate speech because, yeah, I don't know. Oh, and substances. So if things go down, if suddenly you don't see me in lives, if suddenly my account goes somewhere, come find me in Discord. Yes, come join us in Discord. Again, if you go to patreon.com/movewithchange, there's a free link to join the Discord and there's a free link to join us in Zoom Monday through Thursday. It's just a 30-minute practice session, but next year I am going to be like dumping all the tools I have into my social media platforms. I really want to do them primarily through TikTok, but I think YouTube's going to have to get them too in case TikTok goes down. Thank you, friend. It is a beautiful beach. So yeah. I'm spending this month doing a lot less lives. I think right now the only lives I have are Thursdays after class and then this class on Fridays. Because I am full, I have my head all the way up 2025's, you know what, just to try to get everything sorted for you guys. I do tend to be an overachiever, type A kind of person, so I'm going to try to do my best not to overstress myself, but I am going to start making some content early. I have all the tools that I'm going to be using next year listed out already. The rusty nickel. Nice. Yeah, badass blind woman that. So there'll be fun things like, oh, I did also open an account over on Blue Sky, and I know a lot of people are moving over to Blue Sky right now, so go find me on there. I am Move with Change on Blue Sky. And it's a little bit more like a Twitter platform because it looks like it's mostly just like posts like that. It looks like that if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah. Oh, in Discord, those of you who are in Discord, please, please, please give me any final edits or suggestions for our digital download for next year's workbook, next year's energy assessment workbook, because I'd like to get it put up on Patreon for sale here by the end of the week. You haven't heard of Blue Sky? Yeah, so apparently the reason Blue Sky is getting so much clout right now, I guess, is because the CEO or the owner or whatever of Blue Sky came out and said basically like, we refuse to play these fucking games. I'm not going to do this. We're not going to sell it to somebody. We're not going to, no, we're a platform that's not going to do the shit that all of the other ones are doing. So I don't know how valid that is, but it sure has gotten people's attention and has a lot of people swarming in that direction. So I'm also on Kick and Twitch and other places and Clapper and Favorited and like a ridiculous number of other platforms too, just in case, because you never know. Nice, Badass Blind Woman. L2. Okay, awesome. Yeah, go check it out. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you need a hug? Sit. You can sit for the hug. Sit, please. Sit, please. He's trying to show you his rusty nickel. That's what he's doing. He's dogging really hard right now. There we go. There you go. You don't need to do that to them. You know, not everybody loves that side of a dog. I'm just going to say. Okay? Oh, really? Really? Sorry. He also brings the shenanigans. So, did anybody have any questions about next year's content, about next year's schedule, about the Discord, about Patreon, about private coaching, or let's see. Oh, Christina, which Zoom app do I need to download for you on there? I think it's just Zoom. We're just using regular old Zoom, and there's a link on Patreon, an invite link on Patreon, and in Discord. So if you're in Discord, I do a daily notification when we have the sessions. So Monday through Friday, there's a notification that pops into the Courtyard chat, and from there, there's a link right there. Here's the big thing. You have to register for it, and and when I say register for it, I just mean it asks you for an email. I am not going to be using those for anything until I let you know I'll be using them, right? I don't plan on using anything right now. The whole point is to create a slightly more intentional space than the social media platforms. So if you're not interested in putting your email in to get into a 30-minute practice session with us, that's okay. I understand. But there will be, right now I'm putting replays up on a unlisted or private YouTube channel for people who are in the Discord. So you can still get the replays, but if you do not put your email address in, you won't be able to join the live sessions. And if you have any trouble finding it, Christina, just send me a message. I can remember, everybody, I can always send you a Zoom link for it, right? Or any questions about the mudra this week? The Yamapasha Mudra. Anybody have, I know when we started the week with the Yamapasha Mudra, several of us were dealing with tense neck, shoulder kind of stuff. You're very welcome, Christina. Anybody else find that shifted in any way this week? Are you just besting? You're just besting? Can you go, you want to go have a treat? Do you want a treat? You do? You do? Did you see that Did you see that little waggle? Did you see that little waggle? Okay, let's go get you one. Go. Let's go get a treat. Go get your phone. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, good. You'll have to pay for it today, okay? No, I didn't. Oh, good. Then I guess it did. Yay. Oh my gosh, it's so cold, guys. Give me this. Okay. Badass Blind Woman, I have been all over the place with this mudra. I'm wondering if it's swirling and stuff. Yeah. Wondering if that stuff has been stagnant for too long, so the mood is helping it. Nice. So the mudra is helping it. Good, good. Yeah, so, oops. Hold on. I gotta plug in the computer. Hold on. So, this mudras work by redirecting the energy channels in the body, right? This mudra works with what energy channel? I have to scoot everything back. It works with the air energy channel. I know some of you guys already know that. I like repeating myself. Your TikTok has been freezing bad today. You know what's pretty wild? I'm sure you guys have noticed, those of you who've been in here, right, is that it seems every week on Tiny Yoga, we get a great influx of like 50, 60 or more people, and then it drops really fast. I have a feeling somebody might be trolling my account, because then it starts to lag, and it's like every single Friday. And I'm not doing anything. Yeah. So I think they're flagging it again. You know what? In fact, if you guys notice it lagging like that, if you could do me a favor and go over to YouTube or to Twitch or whatever, I'll let you guys know what other platforms I'm on. I know I hate to send people off of TikTok, because this is the platform that's usually our primary one. But if it's lagging here, go somewhere else. And if you see that it's not lagging there, then we know that it's specifically TikTok. That it is TikTok. But I'll let you guys know. I'll send you I'll post a video. I have a video to post about yesterday, because when we got off the live yesterday, I was my live got restricted from the FYP again for hate speech. I don't know how they can get hate speech out of mudras and mindfulness and especially yesterday, like when we had some good questions. See, I'm even lagging for you now. Damn. Do you want to try YouTube? Regal Poison, I also, and I think others too, were experiencing a lot of cold sensation in the fingers. I have neuropathy, so I was thinking it was just me, but apparently not. So, L. Thanks. It's gone for you in the past 2 days. It's definitely still here for me. Oops, I have it backwards. Like, why does that feel different? I've got it backwards. Okay. I'm going to try something. I'm going to hop off and then back on the live. You want to see if that works? You want to bet that they lagged the live? Let me try, because I don't want to sit here and chat if you guys can't really clearly hear me. So, I'm going to jump off. I will be right back. Keep an eye on who's live, and I'll see you in a second. Thanks for hanging out, YouTube. How you doing over there, Twitch? Is it better? Hello again. Okay. So far, so good. You got a treat. You've had your breakfast. You got Scritch's very first thing. I am not interested in feeding you knuckle sandwiches right now. It is not knuckle sandwich time. Go get your cats. Do you hear them back there? No, not my eye. Get your cats. Is that your boy? Go get him. So far, better? All right. So apparently, yeah. Oops, my coffee's still closed. Okay, so we were talking about how mudras work by redirecting the energy channel in the body. Hey, Derek, thank you very much. No lag over there. Okay, no lag on YouTube. Yeah, it's totally TikTok. No, I need you to go out. Go, come on. Lagging again. Let me see. Let's try one more thing. All right, Twitch. I'll see you later. Hopefully you guys were able to see my video. It doesn't look like Twitch was able to see my video. So let's try this. All right. Tapping point. You're noticing people lagging all over? I'm hearing a lot of people are having the similar experiences that I'm having. I am with what's called an agency, and they're supposed to help. They're supposed to support you doing lives, and they're supposed to help you get out of content or, live and content bans and stuff like that. But they seem only interested in accounts that make a bunch of money. Only accounts that battle, apparently, are the ones that are allowed on TikTok. Anything else is pretty much at risk for being taken down and discriminated against. So, somebody said you were lagging this morning. Yeah. Well, again, remember, guys, I will always keep going live on YouTube. Byron, a whole, just like one big push, right? All of your community people, or all of you mindfulness people, all of your awesome, I don't want to say health gurus, but people offering actual helpful content and useful content, educational, healing content. I think maybe, should we just have a massive battle between us all? I know that we don't usually do it. I don't know. I have such a thing about battles. I really don't want to do them because the whole thing is let's just share a screen, share two screens, share the screen and then see, who gives us the most for being there. I mean, I'm sure we could put on a, I'd be down to do a singing competition or an acting improv. We could do improv. If that, it is really silly. But if we turn it into something else, I'm a huge improv fan, and if anybody else wanted to play some improv games through a battle, and that could be more fun. But again, my biggest qualm is not asking money from you guys or doing them like that so that you guys can support, free classes. I'm not worried about that stuff. What I'm worried about is that TikTok takes up to 60% of everything that you make on this app. So I'm not interested in paying TikTok 60% of what you guys send to support the free classes. A battle of wits. Yes. You love improv, Julie? Nice. My favorite way to do lives, actually. So I've been doing these lives for now about 2 years, and it was definitely nerve-wracking when I started. And shortly after I started, I realized that I had something in my repertoire to help me get through these lives. And it's an old improv game that's called Bus Stop. Now, in Bus Stop, there is a single chair. Only one seat at the bus stop. We should bat our souls. Tapping point, I'm with you. So in Bus Stop, there's one chair, and one person sits in that chair, and the next person, and then the next person, and the next person has to try to get them out of the chair. Now, again, it's improv. So what are some really important rules in improv? One, you can't say no. You can't just say no. And two, you can't touch the person. You can't shove them out of the chair. You can't pull them out of the chair. Like, obviously, like, okay, I can get you out of the chair. Done. Well, that's not very creative. So these lives became kind of like a game of improv where I'm on the bus stop, I'm at the bus stop, I'm in my seat, and between all the different people coming in, right? This was before I had a community of people here. This was before I had moderators. So being able to stay balanced and centered on my seat was the same energy as playing that improv game, because I had to remain somewhat neutral and let whatever was passing by me, whatever people were throwing at me, to go through me or roll over me, right? So that I didn't get tossed off of my seat. So for those of you who go live, I highly recommend, I highly recommend trying that out. I'm so glad we're both going live. I'm proud of us. Tapping point, me too. Do you know what I just realized? I realized that I think February makes 2 whole years that I have been doing lives. And for those of you who've been around, I've been doing lives like every single week. That's 52 times 2. That's easy math. Come on, pirates. That's easy math. 2 + 2 is 4, and 10, 104. That's 104 weeks. Brandy, way better on TikTok or YouTube. Yeah, I think we might have to kind of rely more on YouTube as the primary. Seriously, it's not easy. I actually had somebody a little while ago tell me how impressed they are with how consistent I am. And I was like, I'm not consistent. I'm very unreliable these days. Like, my whole shtick in my healing journey for the last 3 years has been, it's okay to be unreliable. That's a huge thing for me because I'm very type A. I'm very like, I can't be unreliable. I always have to be early. I can't ever be late. If I'm late, if I know I'm going to be 5 minutes late, I call ahead of time and get people who go, you don't have to call if you're 5 minutes late. Yeah, I just wanted you to know. So consistently going live actually hasn't been about forcing myself to do it, because that wasn't the point. The point wasn't forcing myself to show up for the public, right? It was about being willing to show up for myself every day. I talk a lot about how these lives have been an experiment. Posting content, building this platform has been an experiment in authenticity. In, can I really truly stand in my true self and share that with the world? It's why it's easier to do in my confined, in my container here, my safe container at home. I still struggle, to be authentically me out in like face-to-face interactions sometimes, because I'm still healing. And just 3 years ago, I was all the way down. Yes, son?
Could I maybe have some chips?
You already had some. I was listening to you eating them earlier. Go make yourself a breakfast. Go, please.
I already had my breakfast.
Good, I'm glad. Okay. You can snack on whatever you need to snack on, honey.
Thank you.
I'm not the ruler of the food choices.
Love you.
That's how I know it's just an excuse for you to come in and say hi to me with your cute little face. Because you ask such silly questions. Can I have some chips? I literally just heard you eating them. I love you. Goodbye.
Love you too.
Go to your class.
I just like to come in and say I love you.
Okay, well, I love you too. Tapping point, I have no idea how I've been maintaining. It's only a couple people that I started with, like you, and that's still go live. Yeah. And I will say it to you guys too, right? That these classes are about me showing up for me. The reason I do tiny yoga and keep doing tiny yoga on live, even when TikTok takes it off the FYP and lags it and does whatever it's doing with it, even when I've got trolls coming in and being ridiculous and doing trolly things. I don't even like calling them trolls. I feel like trolls are actually have more character. uh, um, but it's about showing up for my own practice. It's about accountability, right? I do struggle to be accountable to myself. I do struggle to show up for myself still. So having a crutch like these classes and a community of people who now look forward to joining me in them, it really helps. And I do hope that at some point I will be able to show up for myself and be more consistent and reliable for myself with my self-care without needing the additional external accountability. But here's your reminder that it is perfectly okay to use the tools at your disposal. Badass blind woman, I'm about 8 months in and damn. Absolutely, Beth. I appreciate you guys too. We'll do it together. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And that's the whole point. And what's really amazing too is that if you go back in my content or in the replays on YouTube, remember I have, okay, this YouTube channel only has the last year of my content because I was with another community the year before that. So this YouTube channel only has last year's content. But if you look at the replays or look at my content here on TikTok, you can see from that first year or two, year and a half, you can see how uncomfortable I was. You can see how nervous I was. You can hear it in my voice. You can see it in the way I hold my shoulders. Like, it's actually really cool. I think that's one of the things I am grateful for is that I now have a record of my healing process. And that's not something I thought I would do. That's not something I thought I would want, but I have in the past been asked, how did you get here? And I would go, fucking trial by fire? I don't know. So it's actually really cool to see the steps and to watch the progress happen. And as I allow myself to be more authentically me. And part of leaving that community I was with last year and creating this one was about being authentically me and being true to what I really wanted to do with community and who I really am. They were encouraging me to charge, it was all about charging for stuff, classes. And I said, as I've told you guys, it's so disingenuous of me to charge you for stuff that I would already give away for free. So if we were in the park or in a restaurant or in the grocery store and you asked me about these things, I would tell you. Brandy, I guess I should have started a journal. So here's the thing. I had years of journals. I had literally a stack of journals from childhood, so tall. I mean, it wasn't huge, but it was pretty big. It was pretty heavy. And when I turned 27, I was living in the Netherlands, and we were doing a little birthday thing, right, for me. And I pulled out these journals because we were talking about, these were people who didn't know me. I had just moved there some months before. And we were pulling out these journals. And when I brought them out to everybody, I remember the weight of them all, like packing them in, and I dumped them. And I was just I had this sudden realization that I saw the fact that I was literally carrying around the weight of my past. Literally carrying around the weight. There was a ton of poetry in there. There's a lot of stories in there. And there was of being angry, of rage and expression of fear and those sorts of things. The things that what I was experiencing and struggling with, right? So I burned them all. All the poetry, all the stories, burned them all. Beth, you must have you must have found me in that switch. Yeah, that for those of you who I was with the community called Lama Scar before. So sometimes the content will come back around, right? They say last year's content. But now we're at the end of the second year, right? So next year, last year's content will be this stuff. You won't see a lot of it, but if you see llamas or if you see something that says llamascar.com, that's because that's the community I was with. Yes, badass blind woman. I'm really trying to step into that space. I'll get there. I just need to find my voice and love and show love to my voice. So one of the things that I do a lot of stuff that supports me in these classes. Hey, Christina, yay! It is better over on YouTube. You guys all slowly wandering over to YouTube. So let me give you some examples. So we already talked about the bus stop game, right? Bus stop helps a lot to keep me centered because I like that game and I know what that game, right, means about for energy. If you haven't played that game in person, maybe it might not be as effective. So some of the things that I do are I use incense, especially incense or essential oils that are specifically for opening my throat and for my heart. If I'm feeling the need for support in my energy and vitality, I will use something that supports my solar plexus. I almost always, have stones either in my pockets or in my socks or in my hat or sometimes in my chonies because I have no pockets. These today are the what's this called again? Is it the black kyanite? Kyanite. It's kyanite. Yes. It's a smoky kyanite, something like that. It really helps. So kyanite is for the throat chakra, opens the throat chakra, strengthens the throat chakra, strengthens the voice, strengthens receptivity. This one is specific to the throat and receptivity and hearing and speaking and whatnot and creativity, but it also is used, you see how it's kind of like a brush here? It clears away the negativity out of all of that. So this is specific to clearing away the negativity out of both my voice and the expressions I receive. This one is the Merlin stone, and it is just for general magic. I like magic. Magic is what brings the shenanigans. The shenanigans are magic. Same. Yes, a lot of anger in your voice. You know what, my friend? Me too. In fact, just last night, my neighbor has a dog that's several sizes larger than mine. And when we first moved here, they had a couple of run-ins where the bigger dog rolled over my dog and just like I think my dog's pretty nervous about it, right? Because he freaks out anytime that dog is in the yard. And we try to like, chuckle about it and help them figure out their stuff and whatnot. But occasionally their dog gets out and he comes right to my fence here, and him and my dog just right, like they're making out, like they're gonna tear apart the fence. Last night, I actually went to sleep with guilt. I sat with the guilt. It wasn't mine, didn't have to be mine, but I sat with the guilt, held space for the guilt, because when that happened, I went over to the fence and I did the thing that you do to, again, not thinking about the fact that it was my neighbor's dog, we've already had some interaction. I did the thing that you do to an aggressive dog attacking, right? I was, go home! All the way, full rage, fucking exploding out of me at like 10 o'clock at night, over to his dog who just broke out of the back door. Go home! Take it home! And then he came out, and when the dog gets out, he's not home. And he came out, and I immediately shifted. I was like, oh, good evening. And he sounded either offended or a little bit scared. And I felt bad because I was like, my intention wasn't to, be mean. But I have that in me. Yeah. And it came out at that dog. It wasn't appropriate for the situation, I don't think. But this one for that. It's important for us to acknowledge when we make mistakes, right? My son and I were talking the other day about mistakes and accidents. Actually, it was a really good conversation between the difference between mistakes and accidents. Oh, how do I spell the first one? Kyanite. 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 So we were talking about the difference between accidents and mistakes. We were driving to town the other day, and a deer jumped into the road, and there was nearly an accident. Or there could have been an accident. Now I'm playing with this idea. There could have been an accident if one of the drivers had made a mistake, right? When that accident happened, when it jumped across the road. If one of those drivers had made a mistake, it could have been a lot worse. Mistake is a mistake in thinking, processing, is an assumption that led me down a different track than what's reality, is my attention being somewhere else. A mistake is something that I can change and improve on, that I have some, I don't want to say control, but some control over, some hands in the pot on my mistakes. I can take responsibility for those and be more responsible with those in the future. Accidents, I have no control over the accidents, right? I have no control over the accidents that happen in the world. So we were speaking about this yesterday, and I said, this is the key to finding your personal power, to cultivating your personal power. Recognizing where you may have made a mistake in the situation, sometimes mistakes that lead to accidents, yeah. But taking responsibility for those means saying, I know that I have some ability to shift and change the situation. And if we don't have that, then what am I? Just a victim of the situation. So I wanted to offer that to you guys, hoping that it will spark some interesting thought processes, right? About the difference between mistake and accident. It's not your responsibility to take responsibility for any accidents that happen. But when we can learn to take responsibility for the mistakes we make, then we cultivate personal power, our ability to make better decisions in the future. Remember, mistakes are things we learn from. They're stepping stones that get us further. Accidents, again, I have no fucking control over that shit. Badass blind woman, I completely understand that. You've gotten to a point where lately where you stay very quiet because it takes me so long to filter. It's so funny because I'm in the process of like taking away those filters more and more and more, which is, yeah. This was the other one. This one is actually for the throat as well, and it is a shell. And it's called, I believe they call it the Heart of Shiva. And it comes from a some sort of shell stone, something. So it's a shell. That's why it's got the little design in it like that. It's a piece of a shell. See it? Awareness daily. Do I eat meat? No. My body decided June of last year, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, it's been 2 years. My body decided that meat didn't taste good anymore. It didn't feel good. It didn't taste good. So I respected my body and haven't really had any since. I have had maybe a bite of fish my friend caught and brought down brought over. But I think that might be it. Like maybe a bite here or there just to test, just to see, and it still doesn't feel good. But again, I am not. I don't talk a whole lot about dietary food, nutrition stuff on lives because there's the tendency for people to take it and run in a very unhealthy direction with it. So it's not a topic that I talk about at length. If you'd like to discuss things like nutrition or supportive foods and things like that, I share recipes. We can talk about a lot of that in the Discord space, and there's a free link to join the Discord on my Patreon page, patreon.com/movewithchange. We talk about it in there because we can create a safe container, and I can be more interactive with the people that I'm sharing the information with, right? That's just something that I feel personally is a personal responsibility of mine. Badass blind woman, I feel like I'm relearning to speak. Happy Friday, Princess Nix. How are you? So, you remember the mudra for the throat chakra? Do you want it again? The Grantita Mudra or the Vishuddha Mudra, they're essentially the same thing. Okay. For those of you who don't have them. This one, the Grantita Mudra or the Vishuddha Mudra, is done with both hands. You bring the hands back to back and just interlace the fingers at the tips, because you're going to close the palms over, keeping that space nice and open. And then you're going to interlace the index and the thumb like so, 2 interlocking circles. See that? So again, here, close it up and create 2 interlocking circles. So when we hold this mudra, we don't just hold the mudra. It'll do benefit if you just hold the mudra. But there's another piece to this mudra. With this mudra, it's important to intentionally drop your tongue, which from where it normally is, which is normally resting or pressing into the roof of my mouth, right? So just drop it into your jaw, creating more space inside of your mouth. When you do this, you don't want to go, you're not trying to stretch your mouth open super big like that. But just bring intention. So you bring the mudra up. Here. Close the eyes and open the throat. Intentionally just kind of create space. Drop the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. And if this is a new practice for you, you may notice that you have a little bit of a quiver in your lip, or there's a little bit of tension in your jaw. So please take your time with this. This is one of those mudras that's all about your attention and intention. Again, interlace those fingers, close them up here. Had to come to YouTube. Ah, dang. Welcome. Yay. Interlace those fingers like this. Rest it here at the base of the throat. Drop the tongue into the jaw. Relax the face. Breathe nice and deep. This doesn't just clear the throat. It opens up the throat chakra, strengthens the throat chakra. It improves our creativity flow. It improves on our voice. If you're having both like a sore throat or your voice is cracking and all scratchy, see? You may cough and sneeze and yawn and stuff like that when you're doing this, but it also improves our ability to receive information, receive communication. The throat chakra rules the ears as well, all modes of communication. The throat chakra is also our center for truth. And I want to say this carefully, so let me find the right words to say it. When we have spent so many years hiding our truth or speaking outside of our truth or having to just flat out lie, right, to survive, there can be layers and layers and layers of unknowing. We talk about speaking from our truth, but some of us don't know what that truth really is. And for me, that was a really hard question of really, what is my truth? Like, really, what's my truth? I don't know. How am I supposed to know when I've had pretend to be anything other than me? So this is a really beneficial mudra for helping to get under the layers. Yeah, layers like an onion, Princess Nix. Under the layers of doubt and shame and fear, to allow our truth to begin to come through. And there is a different quality to when we speak our truth versus when we speak dishonestly. And again, we may find as we uncover those layers that we've been speaking dishonestly. And when you find those moments, my friends, we meet ourselves with curiosity and willingness, not judgment or shame or blame or guilt, because that part of you was hidden far down. And yay, you for getting down that deep, for taking the time for self-care enough to get into all those layers and find it. Okay? Alice, you guys, let me gather these gems, please. I love you, friend. Let me see what I missed here. Princess next. Oh, okay. So this literally, I can't. When I hold this mudra, I am singing that song. There is a pirate on the ship off in the distance who's like, "Here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors, here are the people, shut the doors and hear them pray, open the doors and they all walk away." It won't stop. It's like on repeat. And it gets further and further and further away as I sit in my meditation, but he's like a bird singing in the background. Regal Poison, I was just using this one today. I can't bring myself to do the mantra, even when completely alone. Can you whisper the mantra? I'm curious. That song is so triggering for you. I apologize. Isn't religious trauma fun? Yeah. It's what got us here, right? Really fantastic reflection and imagery, Elle. I want to share that. So Elle says, when you're swimming downward in water, there's a lot of pressure and ear popping sometimes. It feels the same for myself when I start peeling layers. I find that it is a process of pressure and release for me. I feel the pressure as I reach the edge of that layer, the edge of that thing. And then when we break through the new layer, there is almost, for me, I get a lot of expansiveness, and then things start to, this is what I have really loved. So I was a doula for many, many years. I did several births, and one of the things about the labor process, yes, son?
I had to get off the Zoom thing, which was loading my class, and then get back on, but I don't know how to get back on.
You have another hour. You have 30 minutes before your class starts.
Yeah, I need your help getting back onto this page where my class is loading to start. I'm waiting for the teacher to start.
Okay, closer to the time when it starts, we'll get on there, because part of why you got kicked off is because you were on there too early.
I didn't get kicked off.
Oh.
I said I got off.
Oh, you got off.
There was a little problem when I was loading. So I had to get off, then get back on.
Give me just a few minutes. Let me finish this thought, and then I will come help you with that, and then I'll come back to this. Okay?
Okay.
Love you.
Love you.
Big love. Okay. Elilen. Okay. So to your point, to your swimming down into the water stuff. Okay. And that pressure. The most intense part of labor is the very last moments. It builds and it builds and it builds until the threshold. And at that threshold is the moment of truth. Can I find the power in me to literally push through something that feels so absolute? If you've been in labor before and you've gone through birth in that way, then you know what I mean. It fills every moment of your senses, every moment of your everything. Time slows and turns into this totally weird other reality, and every fucking fiber of your being is expanding, is trying to push this thing through, trying to birth the self. And after, there is that, the entire body releases all of that tension. This is why I say that when we find tension in our lives, it is an opportunity to release, to give, to rebirth ourselves, to find the inner strength, to stay the course, to sit in the fire, especially. There was a bunch of responses to that, especially because it's important. Because it's important to cultivate that ability to face our fears. Princess Nix, have a great day. Power is not about being super strong and be able to, hurt people. Power is not about having all the money in the world. Power is not many, many things. True power is being able to stand calm in the face of fear. True power is having the courage to do the right thing even when it's fucking terrifying. We don't live in a world that encourages us to cultivate that kind of power. It encourages us to cultivate the kind of power, like material power, that can be taken away from us, right? That can be removed, that can be taken. That's the big thing, the taken. All these material things can be taken by someone else, can be lost. They're temporal. They rise and they fall in my life. Things, people, situations, jobs, houses, right? We know that life comes and goes. It's an ebb and a flow, a rise and a fall of fucking roller coaster sometimes. So if the entire world, if I can't stop the train, right? I can't get off. I can't tell everybody to slow down so I can meditate. I can't ask the world to shut up so I can find peace in my head. I can't expect that every single time I go out in public that everybody's going to be perfectly nice and friendly to me. I have no control over those things. I only have control over how I show up and how I respond. Pootie Toots, actually the way you said that, yeah, there's no pause button. This is the pause button on me. I can't pause anybody out there. But I can pause with the breath, with a touch, with awareness. One of my favorite practices, again, I think I've shared this with you guys before, but I'll share it again because I love it. I encourage you to use this one especially when you're really wound up, especially when you're really worked up about something. But you can try it now with me here. Badass Fly Movement, I held the mudra in front of strangers the other day and people looked at me and giggled. I haven't gotten giggles yet. But no, I like that you said it because that's exactly what I was pointing out, was that there's no pause button out here. I have the pause button on me. So here's the practice, okay? So I giggled back. Good, I love that. Here's the practice. We're going to use all of our senses. Use this when you're in a very heightened space, but we can use it here. So start with your eyeball.